Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern Starbucks in Minecraft for all of your city building needs. Not only will I show you how to make the entire outside of the building, but I will also show you how to make the entire inside as well. Fun fact, I am hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. Let me know down there in the comment section if, where, when and how you found me. This is the amount of space required to make the build, including a handy grid, which you may choose to copy, that will show you the starting position. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 4 grey concrete extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend backwards by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Join down to the ground, but also extend across the back of the build by 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We then want to extend down to the ground. Once we have joined down to the ground, we want to come all the way back up to the top and extend towards the front of the build by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then extend and join down to the ground. We then want to come back up to the top and extend across the front of the build by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can join down once again. And to the right of this, we want to place a row of oak planks. We can then extend the oak planks up by 4 additional rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then extend to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can then extend down to the ground. Then we want to extend each one of the oak planks 1 row forwards, just like this, so that it sticks out a little bit. Join together across the bottom, just like so. We then want to add 2 black stained glass pane here, 1, 2, and 2 here, 1, 2. We can then fill the upper part of this shape in using oak planks, just like so. And whilst we are in this territory, we are going to extend this oak plank towards the back of the build by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we just want to extend it across the back a bit and join all the way back onto itself. We can also extend these corners down so that they will eventually connect to the roof, which is just going to be right here. We can even just extend a couple of these grey concrete blocks inwards a little bit, just to give you a bit of visualization. On this side of the build in particular, we actually want to remove these 2 oak plank blocks, and we want to replace them with green concrete, and we want to extend the green concrete all the way towards the back of the build, and this is going to be the Starbucks sign. We can have it on this side, but we can actually also have it on the back as well. I don't see why we can't have a bit of double branding. And then we can add some oak planks underneath this, and we can fill this side in also, and we can just add a row underneath this, and then we can fill the top in as well. And if we take a little look, that is looking pretty good.
So from here, we are going to extend this oak plank block inwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then to the right by 1. We then want to place black stained glass pane, gap, pane, oak plank. Then we will leave a gap of 3. 1, 2, 3. Place an oak plank, gap of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then if everything is correct, then we should have returned all the way back to where we first started. And if we extend this grey concrete here from where we started all the way inwards to here, and if we remove these 2 blocks, extend the oak planks to meet the grey concrete and just 1 row further, and we'll connect it down. We'll also add some oak planks here, and we will make a small window here, just like so. That is looking fantastic. We can extend up these single oak planks that we have to meet the grey concrete roof. We can remove the grass in between all of these, most importantly these last 2, and we can place some grey concrete here. Then we can make some windows by placing black stained glass. You can use pane if you like as well, but I like a mixture myself. So the door itself, which is here, is going to be black stained glass pane, whereas the windows themselves are solid glass. We are now just going to move around to the side. So here, we are just going to fill this right wall of the build in using grey concrete. There's nothing fancy here whatsoever. However, where things start getting a bit more interesting is across the back, we will place in this position an oak plank, and then leave a gap of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oak plank. Then leave another gap of 3. 1, 2, 3. And this time, place a grey concrete. Leave a gap of 1 and place a grey concrete. We then want to extend to the right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Leave a gap of 2. 1, 2. And then simply place 2 grey concrete extending right. Now, we are going to extend our grey concrete and oak planks all the way up to the top of our frame. Then, we are going to dig in between the oak plank slash little grey concrete pillars here, and we will place grey concrete in between. We will fill these gaps in with a black stained glass, just like so. We will add an additional grey concrete here to drop the door frame, and we will do the same here as well. From here, we are going to, on this side of the build, leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, moving backwards, and then we will place a grey concrete right here. Then extending across the back of the build, we will leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, grey concrete. 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 Then we are going to come all the way over to the left here, and we will place a grey concrete in line with the edge of the building. We then want to extend the top of the build back and down, and also all the way across as well to here and down to here. So you can see that we've just made just a big frame. We also want to extend each one of our grey concretes upwards. We also want to dig in between our grey concretes, so just on the outer perimeter. And we will fill all of these in with grey concrete. All of these what? All of these holes that we've dug. Then we are going to fill these window sections in with black stained glass. The window sections are the smaller sections, whereas this area here is kind of like an outdoor drinking slash eating area, and we will just place black stained glass pane here instead. We're then just going to move inside a moment and place a row of grey concrete here across the top, separating this patio area from the inside of the build. And I think that the best idea is either to have a solid door here, or you could go for something in between, maybe kind of like a glass open door like this. You could even make it a little bit larger so that it kind of flows a little bit better. So whatever you prefer, solid door, kind of like an open glass door, it's up to you. Anyway, we are now going to fill this little mini roof section in using grey concrete. And there's actually no reason why we can't just drop into the main part of the build and make the roof here as well. So we're just going to fill the entire roof area in with grey concrete. I would suggest doing it from the inside like this. It will be a little bit easier. That is looking pretty good, but we don't know whether we've done a good job until we dip inside the build and we take a look. And as we can see, we just have a nice smooth ceiling, so that is perfect. But what we do not have is walls over here. So to make the walls, very simple. We just want to fill these parts in using grey concrete. Here and here. The only thing that you may want to do is leave enough room for a doorway here. Next, we are just going to extend our grey concrete here around the top of our drive-thru, just like this. We're actually going to extend this flat part across by 2 additional rows, just like so. We are going to make the actual drive-thru road itself, so the road hugs this drive-thru window. We dig 1, 2, 3 rows like this, and then we extend these rows just all the way this way. And across this way, but not all the way. So we extend all the way to here, as there is a smooth stone path that kind of orbits the entire Starbucks. So it just goes all the way around here, look. And then the actual drive-thru road just sits alongside this. So it's just an L shape. The drive-thru doesn't go all the way around the building. Just like this. Now we can just fill the entire road area in using cyan terracotta, or your road material of choice. Mine would usually be grey concrete, but Starbucks is, I don't know, about 60% grey concrete, so we're using a contrast grey instead. And we are also just going to make a small road marking here. So it lines up with the 3 entrance blocks. In the middle of the road, we are just going to place 3 white concrete in this position. And whilst I remember this, we are going to add an order board right here, leave a gap of 1 from the entrance, 2 note blocks next to each other, 2 rows of black concrete, and then just some 1x1 paintings to make a nice colourful digital order board. From here, we are just going to remove all of the remaining grass and grid on the outer part of the road. I don't like destroying blocks with a painting in my hand for some reason. I always like to have a solid block in my hand. I have no idea why. So along this part of the road, we are just going to place some smooth stone. So just all the way up to here. Then we are going to use lime terracotta. Or you can use grass, but lime terracotta just contrasts against the grass. And then on the opposite side of these road markings, I want to have smooth stone, and I might just fan that out left and right one row. Then we are going to fill this remaining area in with lime terracotta, just like so. Then we are going to remove these rows just directly in front of the front of our Starbucks. So all the way to here like this, and I'm just going to fill this in with smooth stone. So this is a path that, once again, there's a pathway that kind of just orbits Starbucks so that you can just walk around the whole thing. We want those blocks to be grass though specifically. Then we are just going to remove all of the rest of the grass and grid that we have around the build. And we're just going to fill it in with smooth stone. And whilst we are removing areas for smooth stone, the patio area is going to be predominantly smooth stone. I'll destroy underneath these doors as well, but I have a feeling that we'll probably replace that with another material. But just destroy the little patio area, replace it with smooth stone. And here we are looking good. I think that it might actually be time for the sign. Throw down a limb, open it up, place a green banner in there with white dye. We're literally just going to write out the word Starbucks in letters. The first one is S. That's the chief pattern, base, and bend. Next is T. This is pale, and then chief. Next is A. This is pale dexter, pale sinister, chief, and then fess. Next is R. This is pale dexter, chief, and bend. Next is B. This is pale dexter, pale sinister, chief, fess, base. Next is U. This is the pale dexter, pale sinister, and base pattern. Next is C. This is pale dexter, chief, and base. Next is K. This is pale dexter, bend, and bend sinister. I said that in reverse order, but you guys get the point. Then would be S again, but we already have S, so we don't have to make it. And now we can take each one of our letters, starting here, S, T, A, R, B, U, C, K, S. Starbucks. And we can apply the exact same thing to the back here. Obviously, we will be placing it the other way, otherwise we would have rats, I guess. However you say Starbucks backwards. But anyway, they're the signs. Scub rats, I guess, is Starbucks backwards? That's such a gross word. Sounds like something you'd find on like a medieval ship. Yar, we have scub rats in the gallows. We also have to add a standing sign to the right of the entrance here. We want to place a black concrete, item frame, and cocoa beans in this position, with a spruce fence gate underneath, and then we are going to stack up spruce trapdoors left and right of this, and on top, just like so. We also have to add some leafage to the right side of Starbucks, and I don't know how far I want to extend it around, because I kind of want this part to be exposed, and I don't want this to lay flat against the building, so it either overhangs by one, but then we can't walk around it, or we are one short, or this. That's not bad. I don't mind that at all. With the outside of Starbucks complete, we are now able to head inside and work on the interior.
And I know what you are thinking, it is too dark.
So my recommendation would be just to exchange some of the air for light, and that will do nicely. This is my personal favorite way of lighting builds, actually using light blocks, which you can also give yourself individually rather than just using a command to light the whole place up. So you can literally just /give space your username space light, and then you get this handy little light bulb, which, as you can see, we don't actually have them here, and you can just place them, and you can actually adjust the brightness and all sorts. I just don't really like using loads of torches everywhere or building sea lanterns into ceilings and stuff. I'd rather just have this, because as soon as we get rid of this block out of our hand, these all just dissipate into nothingness, but we have a nice, lovely, bright room. Now that we have the lighting situation figured out, we are now just going to rip up the entire floor. Wherever you see grass, get rid of it. This also includes this area. Let's not forget the hallway. And then we can replace all of that with quartz brick. I'm actually going to do the hallway first, just so that I don't forget. And now everything else is rather easy. Later on, I might suggest that we use a different flooring option for the bathroom, maybe even the kitchen area, but quartz brick does just work nicely as well. I dare say it's the classiest of all of the quartz blocks. And that includes the chiseled quartz, as ornate as it may be. Next, let's work on the layout a little bit more. Directly to the right of this oak plank block, we must place 6 grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, to the right of this block, we want to count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, we will place a grey concrete wall that extends all the way over to the left and up, and we are just going to leave enough space for a doorway. As a matter of fact, we might even connect these oak planks here, like this instead, and then we can use oak planks for the doorway rather than the grey, and then it just makes a little bit more sense. We can even do a similar thing just inside of this little drive-through window. So we can just remove these, and I might make the ceiling just a tad bit higher in here if it doesn't feel too weird. I think that that's a little bit better. And then the purpose of this is that we can actually create a little mini hallway, and we can, I've trapped myself, a little mini hallway here, and we can actually just get in and out of the build, and we can just stick a dark oak door there, and that's perfect. And we want to be able to get in and out of here as well, and then from here we can just extend up this wall, and this is going to be, for a lack of a better term, the kitchen area. And then we'll leave a gap of 1 from this counter, and we will destroy these blocks here in the ground, place grey concrete, black stained glass pane on top, just like so. We also want a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 grey concrete here, just like this. And you know what? Since we're here, let's make the kitchen. Place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black concrete across the top of this wall, with a painting here, here, and here. We are then going to place a brewing stand here, flower pot here, brewing stand here, flower pot here, 2 blocks of iron here, and stone buttons here. 2 furnaces here, detector rail here, item frame here. We will then place stone stairs here, a smooth quartz stair here, heavy weighted pressure plate here, flower pot here, poppy here, gap, 2 glass blocks here, oak trapdoors here, item frames here, biscuit here. We will then place a cake here. Then in this wall, we will remove these 4 blocks and place black concrete instead. Item frames here, cocoa beans here, and oak signs to the right. Next, let's work on the main seating area. To begin, we will place 2 dark oak stairs here, with dark oak fence in front of them, and another set of stair on the opposite side. Grey glazed terracotta behind them, and then another table in the form of stairs, fence, stairs on the opposite side. We will then place dark oak pressure plates on top of the fence, just like this, and oak leaves on top of the terracotta, with a lantern here. Then, on the opposite wall, we are going to do the exact same thing. So 2 stairs, fence, stairs, terracotta, stairs, fence, stairs, and then pressure plates for the table, leaves on top of the terracotta, lantern here. We will then place pillars of grey concrete here and here. So these are just in line with the tables themselves. And I'm also going to recommend having the pressure plate clicking. Is driving me crazy. We are going to have a bunch of 1x1s, just like this. So just across this back wall, and that looks pretty good. Something else that we could add is a bin right here. So that is a green concrete. Throw down loom, open it up, black banner in there with green dye, and apply the bourgeois pattern, followed by the fast pattern. And if we stick that in front of the green concrete with maybe like a pressure plate on top, this just looks like a bin. In addition to this, we also have to head into the drive-thru area and add some green concrete here, with a smooth quartz stair here, painting here, lantern here, and maybe a flower pot either here or here. I think that it might do well there. I think that an item frame, or maybe a glow item frame as maybe some sort of like payment device or something, would also work nicely there too. Next, let's just head all the way over in this direction to the outdoor patio area. And we're just going to make some tables. So a set of single tables here, just opposite the ones that we have inside. You can either use the dark oak, or I'm just going to use some oak instead. So oak stair here, oak fence here, oak stair here, grey glazed terracotta here, stair, fence, stair. And then we can have another set just parallel to these, just leaving a gap of 1. The only thing that I'm not going to add is the terracotta, because I don't want it to grip onto the glass. I would hate that. And then we're going to place pressure plates on top of the fence, and also an oak leaf here. And there we have a perfectly fine patio. Then we are going to head inside of this hallway, and we're going to have to place a bunch of blocks for these, because paintings can go a little bit crazy. So I want a bunch of 2x2s. Oh, look at that. A set of different ones. And they're kind of cozy. Except this one. This one is probably the creepiest 2x2. But, you know, we're going to keep it anyway. It feels rustic. And this is the hallway. And I don't think I've actually mentioned it up until this point. This is the bathroom. We're going to stick some double doors on here. And then we can open this up. We can even stick a plant here in the corner, by the way. And let's work on the bathroom. So, first of all, we are going to place a decorated pot here in the corner with a flower pot inside of it. Fern in the pot. Leave a gap of 1 and then place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 light grey concrete extending across. We are then going to place an item frame here, pot to the right, gap, frame, pot, just like this. Then we are going to place levers above the item frames, and then we have to make some banners, so throw down loom, light blue banner in there with white dye, apply either the bend or bend sinister pattern, it doesn't matter which, and then apply the gradient pattern, either the gradient or the base gradient, it doesn't matter. Then place black dye in there and apply the wall jaw pattern. Stick that above the levers just like this. So the only thing is, and I'm realizing, this is a no-no. We either make this entire wall here oak, which it isn't bad. I mean, it's kind of like a feature wall, sort of. And then we can just change these to grey. And I do kind of like that because it does provide a bit of contrast. But then I would have to alter my plans a little bit. But I think that's okay. I think that this looks kind of nice. It's a nice blend of materials. So from here, we are going to leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place 2 grey concrete. Gap of 2, 1, 2, 2 grey concrete. And then we are going to extend the grey concrete forwards like this. And we will place an upside down smooth quartz stair here, oak trapdoor on top, flower pot here, item frame here, white banner in there, pointed down, stone button here. And we are going to do this to the right, and I'll actually give you an option for the last one. So, we can have a set of 3 toilets here, and we can wash our hands and assumably dry them somehow. I don't know how we would do it. Maybe we could even place it here, actually. Actually, I've answered my own question. So, typically, there would actually be a dryer right here to the right, and the way that we would make this is by placing a pale oak stair here, pale oak sign here, stone button here to activate it, and then just like a nice little small bin here, and those would be the toilets. But we could apply the dryer here and then have another toilet, but how many toilets does one Starbucks need when you really think about it? So instead, we're going with the original plan, because why not? You could even build these up to the ceiling, but then that kind of feels like prison. So instead, I think that we will actually leave it at that. Believe it or not, with that final detail added, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially completed our Starbucks. However, this video is not over. We must now add our modern Starbucks into our city. There is only one place in the city for the modern Starbucks, and that is the modern suburbs, which is flagged for a massive renovation in these coming weeks. So, we will place it over here in the outskirts of the modern suburbs until that renovation happens.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also, consider becoming a channel member. You will gain access to loyalty badges, some fun emojis, and a monthly download for every single build used in our city. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.